All right, we got audio on. All my lights are on. Everything looks good. So, we're gonna just welcome back. Continuing the build of the Prusa MK4S 3D printer. Looks like we've got pretty much everything done up to this point. I just noticed I gotta clip off a zip tie here I missed yesterday. It's not a big deal, but everything's looking good so far. So just gonna get right back into it and get started with the Y carriage and heat bed assembly. So let me actually just turn this on the side real quick and clip these excess for the zip tie here that I missed yesterday. Easy. Any other zip ties missed? Don't think so. Okay. Oh, that looks good. All right. So looks like from the instructions we're going to be using almost all of the included tools with this part of the build. It's going to be probably the most difficult part of the build. I know the extruder and x-axis is usually pretty hard, but this is probably going to be probably the hardest because everything's already done around it. So got to work around everything that's around here. So anyway, let's just hop right back into it. All right, so heat bed, cable assembly, parts preparation. For the following steps, please prepare the heat bed. All right. Here is the heat bed. It does not say we need the frame yet. Put the heat bed here. Get out of the way. Okay. Actually, since we're preparing the cables for this, let's go ahead and just get the 3D printer out of the way. A little more space to work here. There it is. So MK 52 24-volt heat bed. Let's get this open real quick. There we go. BEA, beautiful. Down on itself. This cable up here. So here is our MK52 24-volt heat bed. And then we need the heat bed red cable. That's all going to be in the white carriage and heat bed bag. So heat bed red cable and the heat bed red black cable. So that's these two cables here. And then we've got closed in on each side here. We've got those. Nothing else out of this bag right now. But we do need two M3 times 10 screws. So M3 times 10, yep. So 1 and 2. We also need two M3W washers. Let's see, where did those end up? Did we get those out yet? Yes, we did. M3W washers. No washer, no washer. Nuts. Those are the square nuts. There they are in here. Probably not. Are they under this box? Nope. What's left in here? This is the M3x14BT screw and the M3x4BT screw. So times 14 times 4. Okay. And in this bag, it's just M3x8 screw. All right. So let's M3x6. Empty square nut. Empty 3 standard nut. Oh, there they are. M3W washer 2. They're right in front of me. If they were a snake, they would have bit me. So 1 and 2. With the 1 included spare, so that's all we have for that. And the M3NN nut. So that is the locking nylon nuts, which I just put over here. And we need 2 of those. There we go. Fabulous. One comment. What's the comment? Well, this is disappointing. I've been quite meticulous in here. I'm at the point. It's only the spare M3NN nut left, and I need 2 of them. It's important to connect the power cable correctly before you start the assembly. Have a look at the pins. The one on the left with the GND sign must be connected to the black wire. Take both heatbed cables, note the label on each cable. For the following steps, prepare the ends of the cable without the label. So that is the end there. So we need the end without the label. So that ends up there. Place the ground black wire above the pin with the ground. Use the end of the cable that is not labeled. The QR code. The QR code must be at the other end. Place the M3W washer above the round cable connector. Press the M3 test all the way through. Screw through all parts. Hold the screw and carefully turn the heat bed upside down. Attach the 3mm nut onto the M3 times that screw and tighten it slightly. Turn the heat back around using the universal wrench and Allen key. Tighten up the screw. Adjust cable position later on. Therefore, do not tighten the screw too firmly yet. Let's go into our full screw, our high res view. So yeah, so it's going to be the connector, the washer, then the screw, and then on there, of course, the other side, we're going to use the nylon locking nut, and we're going to use this wrench right here, whichever one of these fits those nuts, or let's use my needle nose pliers. And we want to do that for the ground here, and then on the next part, it's going to be for the voltage for the positive. So let's go and just follow the instructions and do what they say. And we want to make sure that we're using the flat side of this. So kind of see here. That's the flat side that goes down onto the bed. That's the non-flat side where we're going to put the head of the screw along with the washer. So screw, come on. Washer just went flying over there. There we go. Make sure this screws all the way through. Yep. Got the nut. So we can just get the screw pushed through the heat bed. Hold it in. Put our nylon locking nut on there. Get started. that side. So not to tighten it all the way down yet, which I just did. So I'll just back it off like a quarter turn. Use my needle nose pliers. There we go. That's semi-loose, so we can move it around as need be later. And then repeat the same procedure for the red positive voltage wire using the non-QR code side. Let's get that nylon nut on there. Go ahead and use my needle nose. It's way easier this way. Surprised this isn't a lock washer or a lock washer. Too tight. There we go. All right. Before proceeding further, please check again that black wire is connected to the ground. You can't read it from all the way up there, but yes, that says GRND. We'll zoom in on the picture here. Yep, black wire goes to the ground. And the red wire must be connected to the VCC, our voltage. Cable cover, which will be lower, requires the connectors to be slightly inclined towards each other. Press them gently, but leave a gap between them. Now tighten both. So we're going to push them gently towards each other, but leave a slight gap. I don't see a gap in that picture, but okay. I mean, I see a gap on the top portion here, but not in this bottom portion. There's no gap on that. That's all right. And there we go. You can always loosen those and move those around later if need be. Sorry. Distracted by something. All right. Heat bed cable assembly not tighten both screws firmly. Use the Allen key and the wrench to maintain the position of the connectors while tightening. Covering the heat bed cable's parts preparation. For the following step, please prepare. We need the nylon. 2 times 380. Yep, that's what that is. And then we need the heat bed cover here. Yep. Heat bed cable cover bottom and heat bed cable cover top. So I believe that this is the top. And this is the bottom. And to be all honest, this is normally one of the very first things that I replace. Normally there's available on printables or Thingiverse or any other of those sites. It's normally one that tilts the cable out a different degree so that it's closer to the back of the machine without interfering with its travel distance, because I have mine in a kind of tight space, so I need the bed to go back without the interference of the cable going straight back. I don't know why Prusa decided to want to go straight back instead of having it angled so that it's a closer form fit, but hey, it is what it is. All right, so we also need M3 times 10 screw, 3 of them. So M3 times 10 screw, 1, 2, 3. And then M3 and nut, M3 and nut, and I need 3 of them. And there's exactly 3 left, so it looks like I was shorted one on this at least. Very least shorted one. Hopefully not more. Remember that comment for a little while ago that it was shorted on here for somebody else? See, does it not look like the M3N nuts there? Those look like the regular nuts. Those don't look like the nylon locking nuts. Those look like these, and they are those. These are the M3NN. See, I'm glad that I looked. M3N nuts. Oh, come on. Now, here's the question. Did I the wrong nuts on the other one? On the bottom of the board here. I don't think I did. But once I get these nuts back in there, I will go back and look. Let's go back. Yeah, see, yeah, no, those are the 3 M3NN nuts. Yep. So here are the M3N nuts, not NN nuts. Nuts. And we need 3 of these. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so we got those 3 pieces. We have all 6 of those. And we need the 5 times 350 millimeter, which is this one right here, right? Yeah, textile sleeve 5 times 350 millimeter. Yep. And we need that as well. All right, so getting into the next spot, insert the 3 MN nuts into the shaped openings in the heat bed cover cable. So these are going to press fit into there. Probably going to have to use one of the screws to pull it through. Most definitely. Tighten it up until it gets seated all the way in the part. Here we go. And this one. Come on. Get in there. That's what the little red circle Prusa, Joseph Prusa logo is there on the picture for us to tell you to do this right here. So funny. use the screw pulling technique, as they call it. Man, a lot of steps in this chapter. Let's see how far I can get tonight. All right, so we got those three M3N, not the NN, but the N nuts seated. Going on to step 8, assembling the heat bed cover. Place the heat bed cover cable bottom like in the picture. Push the heat bed thermistor cable through the heat bed cable cover bottom. Insert a nylon filament into the hole in the heat bed cable cover bottom. Do not let the nylon filament stick out too much on the other side. It should not protrude more than 2 millimeters. That is a very small amount. When inserting the nylon filament, ensure the filament does not damage the thermistor cable under the printed part. Orient the curve of the filament as shown in the third picture. All right, high resolution picture time. So first thing we need to do is turn this board around so it's oriented as it is in the picture. And then the thermistor cable comes out right there. And does it go through? Is that what that is? Yeah, it goes in between them. Okay. So we turn this part over so that the nuts are down. 2 big holes are towards the board. And then this gets fed through the large hole here. Oops, I forgot to put them in between. So the thermistor goes in between, gets sandwiched in between the sleeves there. And then nylon cable gets pushed into this hole, but should not stick out more than one, or that hole or that hole? Yeah, that hole. That is not a tight fit whatsoever. It's very loose. And it should be going that way. But it's impossible to keep it going that way. Okay. Already did all that? Yeah, okay. What's the comments? Filament for this step does not have a bend in either end. How much should be bent and in which direction? Perfectly. What are you talking about? What am I missing here? There's no bend. It should just be straight. Yeah, there's no bend. It should not be bent on the other side. That's too much, according to this picture. Yeah. Exclamation point. Too much. Exclamation point. Make sure it does not. Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be pre-bent. But anyway, slide the cable cover. Cable cover bottom under the heat bed cable connectors. 3M not see the correct orientation of the picture. Secure the cover with the M3 × 10 screw from the top. Tighten the screw down firmly. Heh. Sure, non-filament is still bent upwards as in the previous step. Okay, so let's close these comments first. So it's going to go and slide that way. And then we use one of those to go through there. And all 3 cables should come through that middle. Okay. All right. This is going to be finicky, but let's do it. So those 2 nylon nuts are going to go in those 2 big holes there. And that ends up getting bent back. Is that what I'm... Yeah, because in the picture, it's going straight back now. I think it's getting wedged in between those two pieces there. Between the bottom and the heat bed. Why are you not finding your home? Should be finding your home. No, you're not. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. I can see it. Oh, come on. Yeah, I can see it. See where it's supposed to go. There we go. See, it says how tighten or anything like that. Make sure there's no big gap between. It's supposed to go there and then come back. Sure, now it's still bent upwards as in the previous step. I mean, it kind of is. Not as much as it could be, I guess. Now let's get that just tight enough to get it to go flat. All right. That requires a lot more than making sure it's bent upward. I use pliers to gently create a bend and shape the filament so it could go to the hole in the bottom part while keeping the curve. I mean, I'm happy with that. It's not terrible. We'll continue, and then if I have to double back, I will. Might have to, but we'll see. Wrap the end of the cable bundle together with the nylon filament and the textile sleeve. Slide the sleeve as far towards the heat bed as possible. Attach the heat bed cable cover onto the junction and secure it with 2 and 3 times 10 screws on the bottom side. Leave a slack on the thermistor cable for one finger to be pushed through. Make sure there's no big gap between both covers. Okay, so we're gonna start wrapping it. We're not gonna wrap it all the way. We secure it. Should be no gap. And that's what the thermistor cable should look like. It should have some slack in it there. Okay. So we got our textile sleeve here. Let's go ahead and wrap it up a little bit. Let me go back a picture. I'm on the correct step here. Yeah, there we go. So it's okay for the opening of the textile sleeve to be up. Wouldn't see why not, but I just wanted to make sure. It's those little things I keep missing. So now we're going to get it pushed as far as we can into there, which is right there. Then we can put the top on. And that pinches down really tight on that. And 310. Screw started in there. I get the other one in there. They're snugly tight. Good. And no big gaps. Everything looks nice and tight, not in the way. And then we need to give ourselves a little bit more of this thermistor cable, it looks like. Let's look at the next picture here. Oh, it was this picture. Just give us a little bit more. Maybe a little bit less. Not a fan of it, like, touching up against that screw there. With the weight is in that picture. Yep, it is sticking through pretty bad in that picture. Should have used an M3x8 screw, not an M3x10 screw for that, for holding this part. Let me double check, make sure it's not in the instructions. Yeah, secure the cover. Which I screw from the top. Tighten it down firmly. Doesn't show the bottom, does it? No, it doesn't. Alright, anyway, well, we'll move on. It looks like it's correct. Let's flip this back over. What else we got to do next? Wrapping textile sleeve, finish wrapping the cable bundle and textile sleeve and twist the sleeve, not the cables. And it needs to go this way. So to my left currently. Oh, come on. I like these sleeves, but they're just so hard to get onto these cables. It's probably just because I'm not good at it, and somebody else is probably way better at it than me, as is of many things, I'm sure. Almost there. Come on, come on. And I'll take this time to mention why I do these in live streams instead of like recording a video and editing out all this stuff, doing any type of production values. First of all, because I'm lazy. I mean, not lazy, but too lazy to edit a video. Production value, what's production value? But anyway, I also want people to see the frustrations that I go through. I try to talk out loud about a lot of things I think about because I want people to understand my thought process, and maybe it kind of matches up with your thought process or helps your thought process or shows you the wrong way to do it for you or whatever the case may be. But I want people to know that, if you're frustrated or getting frustrated with building anything, but especially these printers or any printer, you're not the only one. And show that you don't have to get angry about it if you do. It's just a machine. It's just instructions. We're just people. None of us are perfect. We can just keep on smiling, keep on following the steps and follow the instructions and, not worry about it too much. It'll all work out in the end, I guess. At least it should anyway. And if it doesn't, then we'll work on it and see what we can do about it. But with that being said, oh man, that sleeve looks like it is on there. And it is twisted. And it's not in the orientation on the picture, but let's go ahead and fix that. And it looks like we're good to go. Looks like we got, the thermistor cable's longer than the power cables. Yeah, looks like we got everything in there. No problem. So Y carriage preparation, parts preparation. So we need to get rid of the heat bed. Oh, I don't know where I'm going to put this. Because now we need the big heavy thing here. We need this camera back. We need the Y carriage, which is a big, thick, well, I guess it's not thick and not heavy anymore. It's actually a lot thinner and lightweight than it used to be because they updated the mold. That's pretty chic. I like that. It's nice looking. Kind of looks like a throwing star. Though it hurt somebody. Kidding. I don't want to hurt anybody. Much. Only sometimes. Kidding. Boy, you guys take things too seriously. That box is empty. Now we need the bearings, which I guarantee are in this box. Yep, there they are. So ×3 LM8UU linear bearings. I love bearings. I don't know why. Something about them fascinates me. Then we need get the Y carriage bearing clips. Are those in here or are those a printed part? I guarantee they're probably a printed part. Rod holder, belt tensioner. No, they're not in here. So maybe they are in here. Did I miss them? Oh yeah, bearing clips. That's 3 they are. I'm guessing everything I need is in this bag then. Anything in this bag? Don't think I need that yet. Maybe I need these. No, heat bed expansion joints. Ooh, fancy. Fancy. Alright, so these are the plastic bearing pads. So I guess instead of using the rubber pads we've been using so far, no, there they are. Rubber bearing pads. So there should be 3 of each, 1 for each bearing, of course. Oh, what is that noise? I was like, what was that noise? It's clips moving around on each other. Rubber. rubber, rubber. And then 3. All right, so 3 bearings, carriage, 3 bearing clips, 3 rubber bearing pads, 3 plastic bearing pads. I don't need this stuff yet, and I need 6 M3 times 8 screws. So M3 times 8 are where? It's 12 M3 times. That's nuts. 6. Did I not get the 8s out yet? I did not. M3 times 8 nuts, and this fastener bag 1 of 2 is officially empty. M3 times 8, 11 pieces. I'm going to need 6 of them right here. Come on. Come to daddy. 4, 5. One more. Just one more. No more. There we go. 6. 2, 4, 6. Got it. And that's it we need for this. One comment. What's the comment? Hot tip. Mark the bearings with the permanent marker like in the previous step. Yes, I would like to do that, but I'm pretty sure it's coming up in the instructions. We'll see. All right, so push 2 M3 times 8 screws through the bearing clip. Insert rubber pad on the screws. Insert plastic bearing pad on the screws. Repeat the same for the remaining 2 bearing clips. Okay, so we want bearing clip. Screw. No, screw. Rubber pad. There'll be awkward screws. There you go. I mean, don't you everybody hate an awkward screw? Doesn't do what you want. And plastic pad. That could be taken the wrong way. Don't take that the wrong way. I was talking about screws here. Come on now. Don't let your minds go dirty. I know what you guys are thinking. Come on. People now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Gotta love one another right now. There we go. I don't know why that just popped in my head. Gotta find a way, a better way. Get a It's not the way the song goes, is it? I mean, it does at one point, no, but not at that point. All right, so all 3 of those are now prepared. The order of the patch is crucial. Check the order on all 3 bearing clips. What's our comments? Found it easier to put the pad on the clip in the right order, then press. But I could have read the comments before. That would have made it less awkward. Press down the middle of the rubber pad with a finger to help align the second screw to the threaded hole. Oops. This is meant for the next step. So it's supposed to go clip, rubber pad. Let's zoom in. Clip, rubber pad, plastic pad. So we have clip, rubber pad, plastic pad, clip, rubber pad, plastic pad, clip, rubber pad, plastic pad. Easy. Got it. Note the 3 pockets for the bearings in the Y carriage. Start with the side with one pocket. Attach the bearing clip on the cutout. Insert the bearing into the bearing clip. Show, where is it? There it is. It's these little uppercase, uppercase I channels. I can get this one in the picture too. There it is. Or maybe on the top there. Yeah, there we go. You guys see better up there. Uppercase I channel here, here, and here, just like in the picture circled. I like the way this feels. This powder coating is nice. It's good. It's good. And so now it's going to have us put the bearing in the bearing clip, and then we put bearing into the bearing, or the clip onto the frame, and then the bearing into the bearing clip. So I'm going to say, obviously, we probably don't want to tighten these down all the way yet. I'm probably going to tighten them too tight and have to loosen them. But that's me. I make mistakes and I have to fix them, and it makes things take longer. So I'm going to go ahead and get my permanent marker out here. Scissors. Get this bearing out of its bag. Boom. Permanent marker. And for some reason, I don't feel like I have enough light here for some reason. For some reason. For some reason. All right, and then insert to here. And like I said before, tighten it too much. And now that's enough. And then we can line up my black mark with the ridge of the clip here. I feel like if I move fast enough, I can see myself on camera. All right, it's bearing in a bearing clip. Correct bearing orientation when placing the bearings on the Y carriage. Make sure that they're oriented as shown in the picture. Where is my mouse? There it is. The tracks. The tracks, row of balls have to be in the corners. Align the bearing so that it is centered in the bearing clip, approximately the same amount. A bearing should be visible on each side. Maintain the bearing position and slightly tighten both screws, just enough to maintain the bearing's position orientation. You will tighten the screws firmly later on. Comment. Like with the other bearing alignment, I use permanent marker to mark the correct alignment before putting the bearings into the clips. Yeah. All right, so roughly the same amount, which is actually right at the, there's the lines made into the housing of the bearing. So you're basically going to cut that in half. I'm just going to give it a half turn each side until it doesn't want to move anymore. I feel like that's pretty good. Let's double check, make sure those bearings are in the right, those bearing channels are in the right position. Use this over here. Yeah, yeah, Yeah. Yeah. Said yeah. All right, and then we're going to do it with the other two bearings. Attach two bearing clips on the remaining two bearing pockets and push two bearings inside. Orient both bearings so that the two rows of ball bearings have to be on the sides again. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay. Well, you know what? Before I do that, jumping ahead of myself here. Going to get this started. And I'm going to try not to tighten them up too much. But you know, I like things tight. Tight like a toiger. And I am pushing the rubber pad and plastic pad down. And whenever you tighten them, they want to pop up into the clip. So it'll pop up that way. So I'm putting my finger in there and pushing down, as one of the comments said earlier. And then get the second clip started in here. Oh, I know what that is. Sorry, I hear some. I'm in my basement. This is where I do all my videos and building and stuff. And I hear water going through the drain. Hear it? And I'm like, why is it running for so long? I forgot. I'm doing dishes. Dishwasher's draining. Feel like that's good. All right, let's get this bearing started. Right, get this bearing started in here. That was really bad pun. Yeah, pun. Ah, see? Not too tight this time. Haha. I did good. I did good. I don't know why I'm in a goofy mood today. Oh, I know why. Because, like I said in one of my other previous videos, I think I did anyway, the hot water heater broke. And, you know, with kids and the wifey not being happy about not having hot water, that was a little stressful. Well, it's fixed today. Plumber found the exhaust motor and got it installed. So no more cold showers for daddy. No more having to boil water for baths for the kids. And no more cold showers for the wifey too, obviously. I can stand a cold shower. I don't mind it. Not happy about it, but all right. So now we got those in there. And double check the orientation of those bearing tracks. This one gets get twisted just a little bit that way. Not too much. There and there. You can go a little bit that way too. Yeah, that's good. Right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. All right. Both bearing said two roads, ball bearing. 4 comments. Wow, a lot of comments here. Regarding the alignment of the two bearings are on the same side with each other. My printer failed the y-axis calibration after assembly due to this. The following post does a good job explaining the correct positioning. See post in next step. Sorry, this comment is meant for the next step. I had trouble during the self-test with the range of y-axis. I had to push the bearing more than 2 millimeters away from each other, so the bearing on the inside of each bearing were not visible anymore. With this, I could pass the calibration y-axis. Run a spare screw into the holes first so the bearing clips go in easier. Don't get cross-threaded. Okay, yeah. All right, what's this next step? Positioning of the bearings. Correct bearing alignment is crucial. Proceed carefully and make sure that both bearings are as close to the center of the Y carriage as possible and do not touch any pocket edge. Unlike the previous single bearing position, the bearings as close to position the bearings as close to the center of the Y carriage as possible. Beware the bearings must not touch the edge of the pocket. Incorrect positioning. The bearings must not touch or overlap the edge of the pocket as shown in the bottom of the first picture. Maintain the bearings position and slightly tighten the screws, just barely, to maintain the position and orientation of the bearings. We will tighten the screws firmly later on. After securing the clips, double check the correct position of the bearings so they do not touch the edges of the pocket. Wow, they mentioned that a lot. I had the same problem. The form post pen of the bearings are supposed to be 46.5 millimeters apart. This solved the problem for me. I wish Prusa would add this to the instructions. I had trouble during the self-test with the range of y-axis. I had to push the bearings more than 2 millimeters away from each other, so the bearing on the inside of each bearing are not visible anymore. With this, I could pass the calibration of the y-axis. I experienced the same y-axis self-test failure as you described. Moving the bearings further apart, 2 to 3 millimeters away from the pocket edge, seems to solve the issue. Prusa should update step 17 with clarification on this bearing spacing. So what? Bearing spacing is supposed to be what? Where did it say it? 46.5. Where did my ruler go? Let's see if my ruler goes to 46.5. That's 46, 47. So we want to go right. Oh, you know what? Do I have it here? I don't have my calipers down here. They're upstairs. No. Okay, let's see if I can do this by eye first, and then we'll check it with the ruler. See how good it is. All right, so we want to push the bearings towards the middle, but not over the lip. Gotcha. So according to the comments, if you get it, so just not seeing the lines in the casing should be enough. And then the bearing should not be touching the lip there. So 46.5. Not quite. That's not 46.5. Too close. Still too close. I'm getting like 45 millimeters. So yeah. 46.5. Sure I got that right. 45, 6.5. Now I'm a little too far. This one can go in a little bit. I'm going to try to split the difference of a 0.5 millimeter. .5. Still needs to go in just a tiny bit. 26.5. That looks about as close as I can get it with my old eyes. And bearings seem to be, starting to get twisted a little bit. Back now. That one looks good. Let's make sure those 46.5 stayed. So it needs to go in just a tiny bit. So there should just be a sliver of the line showing on the outside of each bearing, and just a little bit thicker of the line on the inside of each bearing. So now screwing no clips, position bearings. So we just want to get it so it doesn't move. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it down to where I can't tighten it anymore. And I'm going to back it up full turn. Tighten anymore, and then full turn. And full turn. Full turn. Still a little bit too tight. But you don't want to mess up my alignment. I also don't want it to be too tight. And we're just going to stick with that. We're going to stick with that. Worry about that later if it comes up. If it comes up. We'll see. It will. No, my luck, it will come up. This. Oh. Yeah, they don't touch the edge of the pocket. Yes. Yes, sir. Not touching the edge of the pocket. You see, they're showing it kind of with the line is almost all showing on the inside of the pocket, or on the inside of the clip. And it's not barely showing. You can't see it on the right one. You can see a little bit on the left one. That's the line, right? Yeah, I see a little bit of the line right there. But way more of the line there. Maybe I need to get my endoscope out. Check it out, man. There's the same guy really there. Yeah, I read all this. All right, y-axis smooth rod holders. So for the following steps, please prepare Y rod holder 4 times. So these are going to be in the Y carriage and heat bed 1 of 2. And we're going to need 4 of these. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. M3 times 10 screw 12. Boom. Too many. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I roll around. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 4 too many came out. Don't go anywhere. There you go. Listened. Oh, yeah, look at this picture. And then 12 M3 NS. So the square nuts. Square nuts. And we need 12 of them. Ah! 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. One more. 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah. Got it. And then we need the 8 times 330 smooth rod. which I believe this is the last smooth rod anyway. I need some water. Ah, yummy. I'm going to go ahead and just leave these in the box for right now, so they're not rolling around on my desk. Well, guess we're using them on the next step anyway. I think, I can't remember if it was the MK2 or the MK3 build that I did. Had a catastrophic failure at this step, putting the rod through the two bearings on this side. Ended up pushing some of the bearings out, but it ended up never being a problem. So all right, let's clean up this rod. You know what? I need to go check. That's still draining, and that should not be draining still. So I'm going to be right back. Give me a moment. All right, I am back. And is my stream on? I can't tell. It says I'm on, but it is locked up here on the Restream dashboard. Let me refresh that page. Hello? Hello? Play? There we go. Well, I mean, YouTube's up, I think. And so is Twitch. It's just Restream. Oh, wait, no, it's on. All right. Continue cleaning this rod. All right, let's see if I can do this without pushing any of the bearings out. Just slow and gentle. Slow and gentle. I feel like it might be too tight. I'll loosen that up. Probably going to kick me in the butt later on for doing that, but these bearings on without losing any of the ball bearings is going to be important. Come on. Let me try the other end. Yeah, there we go. Much easier. Slow but steady. Why don't you want to go in your home? Come on. There we go. Slow and steady. There we go. I don't feel like we lost any bearings. All right. So in case you managed to push out some balls, all right, so if there are more than so after the final tightening, the movement of smooth rods must be gentle. If the smooth rod moves stiffly, loosen the screws and repeat the procedure. After tightening all the screws securing the bearing clips, make a final check of the correct position of the bearing. To bearing side, the bearing must be positioned closer to the center. When carriage, it must not touch or extend over the edge of the pocket. Single bearing side, the bearing must be in the center of the pocket. All right, so we got that. So let's slow and steady. There we go. I like it. All right. So let's start with the hard side. Let's do the double side. It feels a little rough. I don't know if I like how loose that has to be. I mean, that's definitely way too loose. That's smooth. That's centered, right? Yep, that's centered. Hey, can I get that? It still feels smooth. I mean, it's a little rough. I'll just loosen it just a little bit. Yeah, that's nice. This one, on the other hand, I ain't gonna get them all the way tight. Let me just see what it feels like when it's binded up. I'm just getting these screws down to where they're tight. Basically right when you just can't turn it anymore. Yeah, that's a little rough there. So let's do half turn, half turn, half turn, half turn. Tighten that up a little bit more. Quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn. Yeah, quarter, not even a quarter turn. Eighth turn, eighth turn, eighth turn, and eighth turn. Yeah, that feels right. Let me get all this grease off my hands. Let's see what these other pictures are all about here. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. Yep, tighten, 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 tighten. I'm gonna make sure there's that gap there. It's not pushing in. Yes, there's a gap there. Yes, there's a gap there. And that should be centered in there. That's as close to centered as I can see. Two comments. What's the comment say? Hank the Goose. Yes, the method you described works perfectly for ensuring the two bearing clamps and bearings are aligned precisely. I highly recommend following. Okay. That's a good tip there, Hank the Goose. Move the rod back and forth and tighten each screw by quarter turn. So you feel it starting to bind. That way you can get it as tight as possible. You're pretty tight on this one. Ah. Feels like it's binding back here. Yep, that's it right there. That was binding too much now. Yep. Come on, loosen up. There. All right. Glad I read the comments. Prepare the Y rod holder. Extra grease off my hands again. Take one Y rod holder and insert two M3NS nuts. So it's the square nuts. Make sure you press the nuts all the way in. You can use pliers, but be careful, you can damage the printed part. So the M3 nuts, square nuts go right in there. I didn't need the pliers. Those went in pretty easily. That one went in easily. Let's see if this other one's not going in as easily. So it's going in crooked too. It is easy to break this part. I can feel it. Can I use a Stenner Allen key to leverage it into place? Yes, I can. There we go. Same thing. All I'm doing is I I see it, it's not lined up. Just taking my smaller Allen key, pushing it in all the way through, using my fingers to push down on it, and then using a larger Allen key just to make sure that it's lined up with both holes. And there we go. That's one. Don't use X's first. First check if there's any obstacle in the nut trap. Insert 1 and 3 NS nut from the side of the rod holder. Okay, what are you talking about now? Oh, from the side there. Gotcha, I see it. There's a trap for us. M3 NS nut. Plier time, get this in straight. And all the way into place. That one went in pretty easily. Ensure and adjust the alignment of each nut with two. It's saying to do that now. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, he's being goofy. Yep, they're all aligned. Repeat for them. So it says do it with one, and then tells you to do it with all of them. Why not just tell us to do it with all of them at first? Huh? Ha ha ha. You know what? This was done. Let me get it over here. And no, before I said all that, I did not look at the step ahead. I'd been doing it before as well. You've seen me. My other streams. Or the VODs. Get in your home. There we go. Come on. All the way through. Thank you. Don't want to bend that part and break it. All right. 1, 2, 3 nuts in that one. Nuts. Now I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut to move no butt to the dance floor. That one's there. Sweet, 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 sweet. Why am I still holding that? I was being smart with picking up the nut with my pliers. Sure wasn't. Not being smart. There we go. Go. Get in there. Get in your home. I broke that part for a second. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Got it that time. And again, like it's some sort of accomplishment. Come on. There we go. Get in there. Why is my restream video not working again? Pause, play. And 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay, 2 comments. Oh, never use pliers to show the picture. Just push nut in with tip pliers using the rounded side of the jaw tip. Pliers closed. Great leverage and no damage. Pretty easy. Also, after setting the nuts with 2mm, I thread one of the other 3 screws in and out. Smooth. Agree. Also, pliers are pretty useless since the nut should be below the part surface. Anyway, you know what? That's a good idea. Let me try and get a screw into these parts first. That way the nuts will be lined up perfect. Gotta have perfect one-line nuts. You know what I mean? Because in the printed part, you never know. What were you thinking? All right, all those nuts are lined up good. See, this one's not lined up yet. You need to get lined up. Just turn it in. You just turn it in there. Why don't you just turn it in there? Go from the other side. There we go. Now that's lined up. And the screw goes all the way in and all the way out. Giggity. And all the way out. Come on. There you go. Come on. Yeah, that one lined up good. It's good. It's good. Wife and I just watched Morgan Freeman. I'm afraid. Bruce Almighty with Morgan Freeman and Jim Carrey yesterday again for like the 100th time. That's a funny movie. Classic Jim Carrey. And then she went on to go watch Evan Almighty. I didn't watch Evan Almighty with her, although I've seen it quite a few times. It's a funny as well. I like Bruce Almighty better. Evan Almighty, it's got its character, but I think it's funny how Evan's kind of one of the bad guys from Bruce Almighty. Goes from news anchor to senator. It's hilarious. But funny. All right, last one to test. Last one to test. Wow, that threaded super easy. All right, and one more nut to test. Almost there. glad I did that one for that one. That one wasn't lined up that great. All right, all 4 clips are ready. Thank you for the comment, for the tip. Sally Edge from a month ago. Mounting the Y rod holder parts. Push one of the Y holder, blah blah blah. Push one of the Y rod holders onto the rod. Align the front surface of the plastic part with the flat surface of the rod. Check the correct position of the Y rod holders. The screw hole must be facing up and towards the center of the Y carriage. See the picture. Repeat the remaining Y rod holders. Repeat for the remaining Y rod. That's a tongue twister. Repeat for the remaining Y rod holders. So basically they need to go up and in for all of them. Yes, sirree. We're not putting any screws in. No, we're not. But they all, well, here we go. So they all go in like this, with the nuts facing down or up in our case. This will be the down eventually. And that is quite a tight fit, as it's supposed to be. So it needs to be flat with the end of the rod. You do have to kind of pry open the part a little bit, which is a clamp, so. Ah! Too much! So be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? That was a hair-raising experience. Go. 2 comments. Should have read the comments first. Should have read the comments first. No. Where the instructions say the screw hole must be facing up. The screw hole goes all the way through, so it would be up regardless. This should say is the screw hole should be on the end towards the center, and it should be visible on top. Wipe any excess grease from the rods before inserting wire holders. When you push the rods through the bearings with solid 7% grease may deposit on the leading edge of the rods. You don't want these holders slipping around. Well, that's why I should have read the comment first. But that's okay. I think all of them are okay except for that one. I'm not taking them off to do that. All right, installing the Y carriage. Take the Y carriage, including the screw rods and the rod holders, and place them in the YZ frame. Make sure the 2 bearings are on the left side. See the picture? There are 2 pairs of screw holes on the left and 1 pair on the right. So basically on the buddy board side. Secure each Y rod holder and fix them with M3 times 10 screws on the front plate, the one with the longer extrusions. Tighten both screws equally but not completely. We will tighten them fully later on. Insert the M3 times 10 screw into the hole in each front holder and tighten them. Secure the second pair of the Y rod holder with the 2 M3 times 10 screws. Tighten both screws equally but not completely. We will tighten them fully later on. Insert the M3 times 10 screw into the hole in each rear holder and tighten it. In case the M3 and S nuts keep falling out, please flip the frame upside down, tighten both printed parts, and then return the frame to original position. Let's read this comment first. Be very careful when tightening the single vertical screw that clamps each holder onto the Y rod. Do not over tighten, as it is very easy to crack the holder. Thank you for your tip. So yeah, so buddy board side's going to get the 2 bearings, and then the power supply unit side's going to get the single bearing. We're going to tighten those 2 and that. Pretty much I'll secure those first and then tighten that. Okay. And then we do the back as the same thing. There. And there. Okay, so I need to get some more space because Hunter needs to come back up here. Get this out of the way. Just going to very carefully place this off to the side for just a moment. Then, our printer back in the picture. All right, and then now we get this, and we're going to very carefully flip and place there and there. And then we can use 2 and 3 10 screws. On each holder. I'm just getting them until I just feel resistance. So they're not fully tightened, but they're tight enough that I know that they're threaded and not going to move around. You don't want to go in your home. What about you? Yes, you do. Come on. Are you in there? Yeah, you are. But you're not tightening. Why aren't you tightening? There we go. All right, yep. Just until I feel the tiniest bit of resistance. That's good. And then also M3 10 screws go on the top up here. And just tightening them until I get resistance. And let me remind myself, we're looking at this picture here, so it says and tighten them. Doesn't say not to tighten them all the way. Tighten both screws equally, but not completely. We'll tighten them. So these need to be tightened all the way. So we don't want to crack this part. Basically, I'm going 2 turns past resistance. Another turn, half turn. Okay, I feel like that should be good. They're kind of captive between the 2 front plate and back plate anyway. So, not too worried about the clamp. Now back here, we're going to have to lift this up a little bit to get this screw started. Again, I'm going to get till I feel just the tiniest bit of resistance. Yep, right there. And that one's threading. Good, good, good. Yep, just a little bit of resistance there. That one didn't take much. Yeah, you're home. Good. And then we're supposed to put these in and tighten them fully. and tighten them. It doesn't say fully, but it says tighten them. It would be nice if they clarified that, but with a fully. Tighten them fully. Just kind of using my fingernail to gauge how tight the yellow and the orange screws. So the top ones that clamp onto the rod, just barely able to fit the fingernail in there, basically. And that doesn't hurt. My fingernails need a little bit of clipping. They're a little long right now. Not super long. Align the smooth rods. Important. Proper alignment of the smooth rods is crucial to reduce noise and overall friction. Move the Y carriage back and forth across the entire length of the smooth rods to align them. Then move the Y carriage to the front plate, tighten all screws. I'll loosen them up a half. Since we're doing alignments, it's going to be good to start loose and then tighten down. In my honest opinion. M-O-O-O. Oh, M-O-H-O. I-M-H-O. My brain not working. All right. Oh, yeah. That's a pretty smooth movement. Oh, I like. Daddy like it. Move the X carriage, move the Y carriage back and forth. Then move the carriage to the front plate, tighten all the screws in the front holder. Perfect. Move it all the way out forward. Tighten, tighten, tighten. A little bit further than that. Yeah, like it. Now when I fully tighten them, I'm getting it to where it just won't turn anymore and just get it a little bit of quarter turn more if I can. Sure, I could get the Allen key out and get it tighter, but a little bit tighter, a little bit tighter. There we go. All right. Flip the printer around. And we want to move the Y carriage all the way to the back. Yeah, that feels good. We're going to tighten all screws on the back of the Y holder. So, quarter turn. Tight, quarter turn. Tight, quarter turn. Back, stay there. Tight, quarter turn. That feels like nice smooth movement, not too bad. All right, for the following steps, please prepare. The printed parts are not the same. Take a closer look and compare both parts with each other. Y belt tensioner, one with an oval hole. Y belt holder, one with a hexagonal hole. So let's find that first. Get you right here. It's going to be in our printed parts bag. And it's only two pieces left in the Y carriage heat bed one, Y carriage and heat bed 1 or 2 bag. And we're going to have 2 printed parts here. So this one is going to be the orange one with an oval hole along the bottom. There it is, right there, oval hole. And then hexagonal hole on the right side. Oval hole on the bottom, hexagonal hole on the left side. Hexagonal hole on the right side, oval hole on the bottom. Got that? Got it. Also the belt channels. Oops, can't see that. Belt channels go the opposite directions. That's why I are the pictures. We need an M3 times 40 screw. That in this bag. Nope. M3 times 40. There it is. One of the last two left. That means the last one is a spare. Pick up that spare. Now I want to go bowling. M3 times 10 screw. 4. Times 10 screw. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. M3 NN nuts. So the nylon nuts. 1. Right? Yeah. 1 nylon nut. And then the last two pieces in this Y-carriage sheet metal assembly bag is going to be the GT2-20 pulley and the pen H8 2.9 by 20 times 1. Oh, there's one more thing in here. There's a spacer in there. We don't need that right now. There's the pen. So we go back in there. And then we need Y belt. So in the Y carriage and heat bed bag, again, there's another bag with the Y-axis belt 630. Y-axis belt 630. And now we can move on to the next step. Oh wait, so why does it have just the end of it circled? Weirdos. Anyway, all right, step 25. Assemble the Y belt holder. So insert the 3 in, so the nylon nut, all the way into the Y belt holder. Use the screw pulling technique. So the Y belt holder is the one with the hex, and that's where we're putting in the nylon nut. So we want to go ahead and push the screw all the way through so that it comes out the hex side. And then we can grab it and pull it all the way in. Oh, that pulled in real simple, real easy. Don't need to tighten that at all. 3 comments. Let's see what the comments say. How's there 3 comments on this one step? This is my net kept falling out, so I wrapped the nut with a small piece of paper towel before. Using the screw pulling technique, just add some friction, hold it in place. Nut kept falling out, so I attached a few turns of the spare M340 screw to the outside of the nut. Attached a few turns of the spare M340 screw to the outside of the nut. Use that to push the nut into the hole while starting the thread on the tension. Then remove this. Okay. Cover nut, tip the nut back out. The part sits very loose. It's probably because it does. It is all the way out already. Probably because of the orientation, the way this printed. Yeah, this is the way it printed. So that hole is not quite as accurate as it should be. So I'm just going to set it like that. Assembling the Y belt. Lean the printer onto its right side, the one with the power supply unit, to gain access to the bottom. Insert the M x3 screw through the Y holder. Take one of the Y belt ends and push it through the Y belt holder. Note the orientation of the belt teeth. Secure it by inserting and tightening the M3x10 screw. I need pictures. So yeah, we're gonna tilt it. We'll do. And then we need an M3x10 screw to go into this hole here. Go ahead and do that now. So it's saying to do it. Do it. Get near home. Probably gonna need the Allen key for this because it's got the rounded in. All right. And then we push the belt through. How far do we push the belt through? What does it say? What does it say? Screw by inserting, and then secure by inserting a M3 times 10 screw. Oakley dokley. Oakley dokley. So the teeth go up. Where is that hex hole at? It is on the other side. Just try and not. Okay, so the hex hole's there. All right, so yeah. So we want to get this, the teeth going up. And then bent around into your home here. Oh, okay, belt, get up there. And I'm going to use the 1.5 millimeter Allen key just to make sure this belt is seated all the way in its new home. And that looks pretty spot on to the picture there. Oh, I didn't do that yet. It's not like we're putting anything on it right in a second, but I will go ahead and do that. And make sure that the X carriage is all the way off to the power supply unit side. All right. All right. All right. Did all that. Yep. Next step. 27. Attaching the Y belt holder. Use the M3 times 10 screw. Fix the Y belt holder to the Y carriage. Use the left rear hole in the center part. Tip. Pre-screw the screw into the Y belt holder before attaching it to the Y carriage. Okay. Yeah. Let's do that first. I get it. We want to make sure this these can thread good, because the powder coating kind of messes up the tap threading sometimes. That's good. I'll go ahead and do all three of these holes while I'm here, even though I'm not using them right now. But I'm here. Might as well try to get ahead of myself later on. Come on. All right, not too bad there. That's threaded. Guide the Y-axis belt around the Y-axis motor pulley. Make sure the belt is inside the frame, not under. Take the free end of the belt guide from the pulley and push it into the groove in the Y-belt tensioner. Secure it with the M3 times 10 screw. What's the comment say? Be careful, tighten the screws to secure the belt on both of these pieces. The plastic is very fragile. Must be Italian. And tightening it to the amount shown in the diagram caused a small crack in my piece. Pictures, please. Okay, so yeah, that one goes in towards the back. So this hole here. And then we run it back over the motor pulley. Yep, teeth go down the right. And then goes into the other side. Did I miss something in the other? Yes, I did. I did not put a screw into this hole. That basically clamps. That nut just slid right out. I'm gonna leave it out for right now. That's getting annoying. I think I might do what the other guy mentioned. I'm going to get the other M3 times 40 screw out. And then, where's my Allen key? There it is. So this needs to be oriented with the belt headed towards the back of the machine. It goes into the back screw hole. Come on. Don't move on me, printer. I'm not pushing, I'm just turning. There we go, now I can get my hand on there. All right, just get that tight enough to where it slides off. No, I'm kidding. Mine slid off, but I was wanting to get to where I just can't turn it anymore without putting extra force on it. And now this belt gets fed over the frame, around the pulley. And come on. You gotta push all of it by hand. Come on. There we go. And then back over the frame again. Yes, yes. That's a good sign. And then it's got to go into this part, which is the Y belt tensioner. And we make sure that the teeth are facing up into in this printed part, as you can see in the picture there. But there's teeth along this edge, so the outer edge, the outer edge here. So the teeth need to go up and into those teeth there. Then again, I'm going to use the 1.5 millimeter Allen key just to get that belt slid all the way down into its new home. And then we use an M10, M3 by 10 screw. And it's just going to basically it spreads that part, this part apart, so it clamps the belt down. It shows it going all the way until the head is flush with the printed part. It gets a little tough. We had to do the same thing over here. I didn't narrate it. It gets a little tough to turn as the head gets into the printed part. Not flush yet. Flush, need to be flush. Yep, there, flush. All right, and that was the last part of the step. Yes, it was. Now we go on to step number 28. Push the pin into the pulley and center it. Take the white belt tensioner with the belt and guide the belt around the G220 pulley. Insert the belt with the pulley into the white belt idler on the rear of the front plate. Push the pulley all the way inside the printed part and lightly pull on the belt to lock the pulley into place. Yeah, I was wondering why there's like a channel system inside there. So the comments say there is no free end because the last step told me to put the free end to the belt tensioner. Oh, you're right. Thank you. The instructions have been updated. Which you don't. You just have to do this. Have to wrap the teeth part around this pulley. So I don't know if you can see that. So I'm wrapping the teeth part around with the printed part hanging off there. And then I'm going to pinch, try to hold this, what is it called? Pen in place. And then we got to slide it into its new home here and then pull it back a little bit. And that doesn't really lock it in place, but it locks it enough in place, I guess. So let's go to the high def pictures, make sure I got this right. Yep, slid it up in there. Yep. We already did that. Yep. Step 29, attach the Y belt tensioner. Insert the M3x10 screw into the Y belt tensioner and attach the Y belt tensioner to the right front hole of the Y carriage and secure it with the M3x10 screw. Do not over tighten the screw. We will adjust the exact position later on. You didn't say that earlier, did you? Please tell me you didn't say that earlier. Where is it? There it is. Orange. Use the M3 screw. Use the M3 times screw. Fix the Y belt holder to the Y carriage. Use the left rear hole. Tip for screw guide. Screw the entry. So it doesn't say not to tighten it. So I guess you gotta tighten it. This one it says not to tighten it. Okay. 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 I guess. Oh, I see. This is not a round hole, it is a slotted hole, which allows us to tighten the belt with the tuning app. I think I understand. Come on. No. Don't miss thread. You need to thread into that hole perfectly. I already ran a screw through there. I know that it works. I don't like that I can't use my driver right now. Because the printed part's in the way, the belt's in the way, so I can't get this screw started straight. At least it's being a pain in the butt to start straight. I'm sure I can get it eventually with enough finagling around. I don't want to strip the threads on anything. And I've got more screws in my inventory at home, so I can fix a screw easily. But the threads on the plate are not something I want to try and fix. Let me run a screw through there again just to make sure. Let me run this screw through there with this driver, with this Allen key. Who is Allen and why do I have his keys? Why are you giving me problems now, hole? You already had a screw. What, do I have to take you to dinner first? Sorry, that was bad. Forgive me. That was very inappropriate to say. Find your home and thread into it, please. There we go. Finally. That took some effort. I can't secure with the screw down. Tighten the screw wheel. Adjust the exact position. The screw does not reach the Y. Hold the Y carriage is necessary to remove the Y belt holder. Install or position the belt by one tooth in both printed parts. One tooth in each printed part will bank it. Insert the M3 times 40 screw into the Y belt tensioner and tighten it until the screw reaches the nut in the second part. Yeah, which fell out multiple times. Green tensioning mechanism ought to be placed at the back or front plates rather than here. For too many issues, scissors, and it will be a pig to adjust. Pain. Maybe something for a new version to pulley T the front could fit in a sled, for example. Yeah, I was enjoying this process until this step. This is pretty brutal. I'm pretty certain a strip thread in the Y carriage. The screw goes in fine, but then jumps the thread no matter what I try. Not the greatest design for this particular part and process. It's fine till it's that absolute horror. I regret the purchase. Now I have a high pulse and broken parts. Oh, poor people. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Oh, people are having problems. Yeah, I'm not the only one. The slide. Yeah, that's okay. My belt was long enough. All right, so now champagne. Let's get rid of the comments. Now what we do, okay, so now this is where I gotta do the trick. This nut, just need to get a thread or two in from the other side. Which is not easy to do because it's a nylon locking nut. Come on. But I agree, the tensioning mechanism, which I have an MK3S that I did some partial bare modifications. The i3 MK3S bare modifications on, where it's got tensioners on the X and the Y axis, and they are, the X axis is on the right side and the Y axis is on the front. And you can just tighten or loosen some screws on a sled, like I said in the comment up there. That does not want to thread on there the wrong way. Maybe I can just push it in with the screw. That is not threading on there. That's enough, I think. Forward, please. You are a pain in my butt. Pain in my butt. So basically, just like it shows in the picture, go to the high res picture here, it goes through both of the printed parts. So on the left side here is where this locking nut goes, and then your M3 times 40 goes through this first part, through the gap in between, and into the second part where this nut is waiting for it. So that you can loosen the screw that's screwing the front part into the frame, and then loosen or tighten this screw that I'm about to put in to loosen or tighten the tension on the belt. Can I just get in there and push it up there with this piece? First of all, let's get it oriented so it's in there correctly. Don't slide out while I'm doing this. There we go. I'm just going to use that to do this. Slide down some now. The driver fit in there? Maybe if I... That is not tight at all. Tighten up. Get off there. Get off. Thank you. Maybe if I can get my hand on this other side. There we go. And then hit this. Yes, just like that. That'll line up with the hole on the other side. Line up with the hole. Can't tell. I mean, the screw's going in, so I don't know if it's grabbed the nut yet. I'm guessing it's grabbed the nut. Yes, it has. All right, so let's grab that nut. And let's see, my tensioner tighten it until the screw reaches the nut second part. Yeah, yeah, you're correct, right? That's not loose in there. Yeah, yes, we're good. We're good. Good. It's good. It's good. Move the Y carriage all the way to the back. Use a finger on your left hand. Wait, it doesn't say put it back. All the way to the back. Use a finger on your left hand. Push the belt down. A medium force should be needed to squish the belt till both parts touch. Don't try to overstretch the belt. It might damage the printer. You can change the belt tension by adjusting the long M3 times 40 screw on the bottom of the Y carriage. Tighten the screw to bring the parts closer together and increase the tension. Release the screw to move the parts apart, decrease the tension. After you set the correct belt tension, tighten up the N3 times 10 screw on the bottom to fix the Y belt tensioner in place. This step is recommended, but optional if you don't have a phone at your disposal. Continue to the next step. I think I still have that open on my phone somewhere. Let's see. Chrome Beltonshire. On the y-axis, right? Yeah. That is not good at all. Not getting a reading. Okay, sorry. The reason I wasn't narrating and wasn't talking is because it picks up my voice and it says that it's too tight because of how deep my voice is. So I got it to be just right. So I had to I don't know if you noticed, but I was having to refresh the page, select the printer, enable the microphone, select the access multiple times over. Because if it picks up something, for some reason it doesn't want to reset every time. Now I'm just tightening the bolt on the y-axis carriage. And that's my extra that I can put away over here now. All right, aligning the Y belt. Make sure that both the top and bottom. All right, so let's clear off my workbench here. Get this back into its orientation. Make sure that both the top and bottom part of the belt are parallel, directly above each other. If not, adjust the belt position. Release both screws on the pulley. Slightly move with it till you reach the position. So let's see. Slide that slowly forward. You know what? That looks like, let me just go ahead and zoom in on this picture, make sure, yeah, everything looks like it's on top. Yeah, everything looks good. Yeah. All right. Installing the expansion joints part preparation. So now we need expansion joints, which are in this bag, the Y carriage and hoop bed bag. And it's the last 4 parts in this bag. There's nothing else left in this bag. So kabamo. And then heat bed expansion joints. So those go right here on the floor for some reason. And M3x6R screws. So I don't think we've gotten those out yet. M3, no, we have. M3x6R. I see M3x6. M3x6R. That's why I thought that, because they have not been opened yet. And we need 8, 9 coming here. So we have our 8 we need plus the 1 extra. On out. And just pick up 1 extra. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They were hiding under the bag. Sneaky buggers. I know it's been 2 hours and 30 minutes already, but I'm going to just get this step done and then be done for the night. Ah, boy. Okay. Install 8 M3x6 screws in the outer holes of the Y carriage. Do not tighten them completely. A few turns are enough for now. So let's go ahead. And okay, so we just want to get those installed in there for a few turns. And these require the X key. Yes. So 1, 2. Just gonna get these parts off my desk and then be done for tonight. So come on. So 1, 2. 1, 2. Come on. Oh, nope, you're not getting threaded in there right. I'll try this one in a different hole. Yeah. 1, 2. 1, 2. And maybe this screw will have a better chance of going into this threaded hole. Or maybe not. Oh, yeah, there we go. 1, 2. All right. The installation of the expansion joints needs to be done carefully. It is crucial for the correct functionality of the printer. Carefully read the instructions. Slide the expansion joint from the side on the M3x6R screw. Make sure the expansion joints are correctly oriented. There is a recess with approximately the same shape as the expansion joint. The joint must fit into the recess. See the second picture. Maintain the position and tighten the M3x6R screw using the 2mm Allen key. So I'm using the wrong key in the first place. Proceed to rest for the rest of the expansion joints. The wrench doesn't fit. All but the M3x6. I'll disregard this comment. I had the incorrect M3x6 in the position is correct with the M3x6R, which I failed to see in the package. Yep. Okay. So, and there's these little indents. I don't know if this camera will pick them up. Yeah, it will. There we go. You see the indents right there. And actually seeing better on camera right there. That's where they go. And let's go ahead and zoom in. Enhance. So yeah, so it slides on like that. And then the bevels need to be okay, so you do it from the side, all right. And the bevels need to be pointed towards the inside of the bed. I understand. It does say to tighten them, right? Correct. Tighten them. Doesn't say keep them loose. Second picture, maintain the position. And tighten the ends. Yeah, okay. So yes. And then we need to do this for all of these. So all of the bevels need to go pointed towards the very center of the bed. Are you in line right? Yep. Yep. Oh, missed 2 screws. Smart me. Since I'm back here, might as well put this on there. And I missed the front one too. Very smart, Jeremy. Very smart. Okay. Let's get this side one on here. And this side one. There we go. And last one. One more. One more. Right there. Right there. Yeah, those are all solidly affixed. Yep. And that's it. All right, so that's where I'm going to stop tonight. We still have quite a few steps to go. I mean, this goes all the way to step 55. And we're only on step 35 going into 36. So we're going to stop this for tonight, not powering through. Been streaming for 2 hours, 38 minutes, 29 seconds, 30 seconds, 31 seconds. So anyway, thanks for watching. It looks like I had at least one person watching today. So thanks for watching. If you're watching the VOD, thanks for watching the VOD. I hope this helped out a little bit if it did, or if you enjoyed my banter or commentary, or, just you enjoy my voice, whatever it happened to be. Leave a comment if you have any ideas, suggestions, anything like that. Other than that, have a wonderful afternoon, and good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you are in this world. Be kind to each other, and I'll see you probably tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow night.